Eyam chose death in 1665 to save others from the plague. They locked themselves away, and for over a year no one came out. But the real horror didn't end with the graves. Tonight, we return to the stones, the graves, and the voices that never left this cursed ground. The locals of Eyam whisper about the boundary stones. Each stone marked the edge of their quarantine. Coins were placed in vinegar-filled holes to buy food, so no one crossed the invisible line. But the stones are not where they once were. Modern surveys show that over the last 350 years, several of these ancient stones have shifted, and in strange patterns. Old records place them yards away from where they now stand. Villagers say they hear them move at night, grinding against the earth, as if something under the soil pushes from below. Inside St. Lawrence's Church, a thick, leather-bound ledger lists the dead. The final entries from 1666 have blurred over time, as if the ink refused to dry. But in 2023, a digital historian scanning the book captured something terrifying. Under UV light, new names had appeared. Names from this year. Locals still living in Eyam. Narrator, VO. How do names of the living end up in a book that hasn't been touched for centuries? Emma Barker, a schoolteacher who moved to Eyam in 2019, recounts. I woke up one night and saw a man in the corner of my room. He wore a long black coat, like a plague doctor. He didn't move. He didn't speak. But his mask was broken. His mouth was visible and it was full of ash. When I blinked, he was gone. Next morning, there was ash on my sheets. Locals know this figure. They call him the Watcher of the Graves. During restoration in 1972, workmen uncovered a sealed well near the boundary stones. Inside, instead of water, they found bones, hundreds of them, thrown together. Not buried with care, thrown. And the bones were burned black. When archaeologists analyzed them, they found something horrifying. Teeth marks on the bones. Human teeth. Was this plague-driven madness, or something much older? In the last 5 years, Eyam has experienced unexplained power blackouts, sudden dead zones where phones don't work, reports of hearing voices calling their names on the empty moor. A farmer described seeing people walking across the field in plague clothing, vanishing when approached. In 2024, a renovation crew discovers a hidden stairway beneath the chancel. The passage is lined with carved crosses, each one scorched as if by fire. Worker on tape. There's a door down here, solid oak, burn marks, smells like something rotten behind it. They break through. Behind the door, a tunnel descending deep into the earth. Walls are narrow, with marks that look like scratch marks. At the bottom, they find a series of catacombs, stacked bones, centuries old. But there's a disturbing detail. Some skulls have symbols carved into them. One worker's body cam captures voices. Voice 1. Do you hear that? It's like chanting. Voice 2. Wait, look at the wall. A wall painting. 7 hooded figures drawn in red. One figure's hood is pulled back, revealing the face of the 1665 rector. At the far end of the catacombs is a stone door sealed with iron bands. Scratched into the door. Don't complete the circle. The recording shakes. A loud thud, a scream, then silence. Only one member of the crew survived. She was found on the moor 3 days later, barefoot, with her hair completely white. She hasn't spoken since. In her notebook, she wrote only one phrase. The statues move when the lights go out. This was the last descent before the final truth. And in our next chapter, we will enter that last chamber and see what has waited for 350 years. We kept them here. We kept it here. But you came back. And now the circle is whole again. The chamber shakes violently. Ash bursts from the floor. The screen goes black. The final recovered frame shows the circle igniting with fire. Weeks later, when rescuers enter, the chamber is empty. Only ash remains. No bodies, no statues. And on the altar, a new carving. The plague village never died. Eyam chose death, but death chose to stay. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed. Fear Diaries is not just horror, it's truth wrapped in shadows. Here, we dig up the real stories the world tried to bury: cursed villages, haunted places, unsolved disappearances, and history that refuses to die. Every case is based on true events, researched and told like no one else dares. If you love the feeling of a story that stays with you long after the screen goes black, if you want to see the darkest parts of the UK and USA where real nightmares walk among the living, then this is where you belong. Subscribe now and be part of the Fear Diaries family, where every week another real case opens and the dead finally speak.